The NCAA President Mark Emmert reports the NCAA revenues for the 2010 fiscal year is projected at $757 million, at which only $452.2 million will be allocated to Division I members. Where is the other money going? The NCAA believes that they are considered an amateur activity while still claiming a multi-billion-dollar industry. They also claim to be a highly successful nonprofit organization and that all proceeds are given out to Division I, Division II, and Division III. Before March of 1906, the NCAA was named IAAUS, Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States. In 1921, starting their first ever championship game, which was the Track and Field National College Championship. The advantages of competing in college sports are both immediate and lifelong. Participating in college sports provides opportunities to learn, compete, and succeed. Student athletes receive top-notch academic support, quality medical care, and regular access to outstanding coaching facilities and equipment. Student athletes as a group graduate at higher rates than their peers in the general student body and feel better prepared for life after college. $2.9 billion are awarded in scholarships a year, which is just not enough for student athletes.
So when we speak about why student athletes should receive compensation for their hard work, it's how they create an exponential amount of money for the schools. So in 2015, the 10 largest schools in producing revenue made $152 million each on average. So if you guys how that number compares to scholarship expenses for the schools, it's not even worth mentioning. But we will to give you guys an idea of how horrible it is. So in that same year, the top 10 largest schools make or spend each on scholarship expenses $13 million. So it gets weird when you speak about how college coaches profit so much off the hard work of these students. Okay, so also it gets weird when we see how college coaches make so much off of these student athletes. So the 42 highest paid coaches in Division I football make on average $2 million each annually. So we can see how the money made by these athletes is misguided. So it's not fair to those using their time putting their bodies on the line to barely receive a portion of what the schools make. As talked about before in history, time could be the most efficient thing that we always have. So the title of student athlete can easily be seen as a full-time job from junior college athletes to Division I athletes. And the time by these students can look ludicrous, ranging from 20 hours a week to 35-hour weeks of physical training, and that's not even including the games. And then we add on a usual minimum of 1 hour a day at tutoring, plus a full schedule of classes, and then we can't forget the time spent studying for these classes, and then the time spent studying to the playbooks for the team. So when it comes to being a student athlete, time is not really in your favor. And we still haven't even mentioned the hours they have spent in football meetings, and then we had to talk about the hour they have to do for eating, and then the best one, the morning training they have to do for weightlifting, which usually takes up to 2 hours early in the morning. So when it comes to getting sleep, those students are probably ranging from about 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. 8 at the best, 6 at average, or 6 on average.
What I believe to be the biggest misconception in all of college sports is that every athlete you see is receiving a full ride. The reality is, most of those athletes aren't even receiving any scholarship money whatsoever. And if so they are, it's mainly from academics, not even athletics. The NCAA has put upon extremely harsh restrictions on colleges on how they may spend money on scholarships, including certain sports in which they have to follow the rule by full ride or no ride, which in certain athletes, a very limited amount may receive full rides, leaving the rest of the athletes with no money whatsoever to receive. Then, take into account a football team. They may have 7 to 10 athletes receive full rides. It's great for them. Sounds like a lot. But then you remember football teams have 50 plus players, and that leaves 40 players with no money receiving at all. All of those players are putting in the same time and effort. How come they aren't being treated the same? How come they aren't receiving the same benefits? How come the school and NCAA are making millions off them, but they get nothing? Now put yourself in their shoes. You're sacrificing your body. You practice every day. You practice 40 hours a week, including everything. And now you're left with nothing but debt and a small hope to make it to the professionals. In fact, making it to the professionals is such a small hope that the biggest percentage for a college athlete to make it to the professionals is baseball, which is 10%. 10% of baseball players make it to the pros, and that's the biggest percentage. That's a very slight chance. Not taking into account, you get injured your second season. Doesn't sound like too bad. You think the school will keep you. You're just out for 1 year. That's not big. But then the school drops you and you're left with nothing but broken hopes and debt. We're not asking for these young adults to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or receive a salary. We're just asking for them to be paid what is rightfully theirs. They're putting in the work. They deserve a small hourly wage equivalent to their other students.